Welcome to Great Life Zone. Most of us are familiar with the phenomena of road rage, and perhaps you have experienced it also, or at least watched it from close angles. I am usually a careful driver who likes to follow traffic rules, including the speed limits. Many a times I have experienced youngsters in their SUVs or trucks honking from behind restlessly and desperate to overtake my car. To add insult to injury, when they eventually overtake your car, more often than not, they make funny and insulting gestures. Of course, under normal circumstances, this can be quite frustrating and it can disturb the peace of mind also, especially when you know that you have done no wrong. This may easily create a mental pressure which may trigger a revenge tendency. Like road rage, there can be different types of circumstances and situations which can create a mental pressure on a person, pushing him or her to become angry and to lose control. However, the real challenge lies in remaining calm under pressure every time such mental pressure is created, although it is not easy. In this video, I am going to share 5 easy yet effective techniques to maintain your cool and stay calm under pressure. So let us begin. Number 1. Take a few deep breaths. It is possible for even the very mentally strong individuals to encounter situations when the amount of pressure is too much to handle. Now, before it turns into acute stress, the smart people work on their breathing and control their physiology. Let me share a simple exercise which I have tried and found useful. First, you have to inhale, counting up to 4 or 5. Let the fresh air fill your lungs completely. Then hold your breath to the count of 4 or 5 if you can hold it for that long. Then exhale through your mouth. So to the count of 3 or 4 or 5. And again hold your breath to the count of 3 or 4 or 5 and repeat this. You may notice that I am recommending to hold the breath twice. Once you inhale and second time you exhale out completely. This simple exercise helps to recenter the mind and slows the heart rate. Also, I have seen that sipping some water helps. Number 2. Do not answer back. Let us consider a situation where an individual is in front of you and is disturbing you. The then Prime Minister of UK, Mr. Winston Churchill, once said, "If you stop to throw stones at every barking dog, you will never reach your destination." How true! If you give in to the mental pressure of answering back, you are actually lowering yourself to their standards and fighting them on their terms. You are bound to lose because they are good at their turf. Simply refuse to answer back, which will otherwise empower them to definitely take you down. Number 3. React and pay heavy price. We have to respond and not react. Continuing in the flow of the discussion we are having, let me share with you another incident. The shopping malls in my city usually attract very heavy footfall on weekends. As a result, it is very difficult to find parking if you go there on Saturdays or Sundays. On one such Sunday morning, 2 people spotted one empty lot. Logically, the driver of the first car ahead should get the right to park his car. However, the driver in the second car, which was right behind, started honking feverishly and jammed the path of the first car. As was expected, both the drivers got out of their cars, and while the driver of the first car wanted to reason with the other person, the driver of the second car exhibited very abusive and aggressive behavior. The driver of the first car simply got back to his car, got into his driving seat and drove away without giving the pleasure of arguing with the second person. Interestingly, the second person had an interview the very next day with a very reputed multinational corporation. This person really wanted to get selected as it was a very coveted job and a very senior position. When his turn came for the interview, he entered the interview room. To his surprise, he found that in the interview panel, one of the persons was the driver of the first car with whom he had misbehaved on the previous day in the parking lot. As luck would have it, this gentleman was the CEO of the company and was also heading the interview panel as the chairman. You can well imagine the result of the interview for the second person. Number 4. Think of the long-term consequences. There is a famous story where a man bought a very expensive car and brought it home. Next day, he decided to clean the car himself. Then he saw his 4-year-old son scribbling something on the car. Probably the boy had something very sharp, as he had put some scratches on the boot of his car. The man lost his cool and began beating the boy with something in his hand. Boy's 4 fingers were beaten to pulp, and then he realized that he was using a heavy wrench. The boy was rushed to the hospital where the team of doctors recommended amputation of the boy's 4 fingers. The man was too shocked. He went down to the parking lot and looked at his car. The boy had scratched a note, "Dad, I love you." And these were not random scratches. The man was too emotionally disturbed. He could not take it anymore and he committed suicide. Even if the story had a different end and the man had not committed the suicide, think of the boy growing up without 4 fingers of one of his hands. Number 5. Train your mind. The secret of many people's ability to remain emotionally grounded and calm comes from training their minds through meditation. Even if you are unfamiliar with meditation, it is not too late to start now. And yes, on this channel, you will find many videos about meditation. There are many scientific and medical studies which have proven time and again innumerable benefits of practicing meditation. This includes better mind control and reduction in the levels of stress and anxiety. The great news is that meditation takes only a few minutes and it can be done anywhere, anytime. And now a bonus tip. Maintain an attitude of gratitude. If you observe carefully, you will notice that many successful people have an attitude of gratitude. Gratitude helps attract many mental, emotional and spiritual benefits for the person who practices it. It makes a person humble, centered, peaceful, and his negative emotions are easily washed away by positive feelings of gratitude. Genuine attitude of gratitude practiced regularly literally changes our brains. Research has shown that regular practice of attitude impacts the brain at the neurochemical level and acts as a catalyst for neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine, all of which have a major impact on anxiety and stress response. One way to adopt gratitude practice is to simply spend 2 minutes in the morning and think of 3 things that you feel grateful for. The key is to pick up things you can actually feel grateful for and then thank the universe. In conclusion, I would say humility will save you time, money, and resources. Be gentle. You don't have to win the case. You'd rather lose the case and win the marriage. You'd rather lose the argument and win the soul. That's all for this video. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching this video till the end.